D-Day. Oh boy. D-Day was fucking nuts. Not like I was there, but I know enough about it. And so should you. Especially if you are an American. Good old 1918 A1. In the flesh, or should I say, the metal. Many of these real steel, well, the 1911 A1s were carried on those beaches into the cities and whatnot. Trenches. That's why a while back, I made that 1911 and I named it the Trench Valkyrie. A Valkyrie is a female warrior and served in the trenches. This helmet, I kid you not, I had it in a video before and didn't seem like many people were very interested. This is a real World War II helmet. It probably has seen action. It may have even been on those beaches that day. Friggin' awesome. I don't know how the soldier may feel if they are around today. If they're around today, and if they found out that someone who calls himself the Hammered Airsoft Smith wears their helmet, wears it proudly, and wears it in Airsoft. I also wear it when I drink, sometimes. Sit on my porch and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Why the hell not? What else do I want to say before I go on to the main attraction? Well, I remember one time I was playing an Airsoft game on Easter with a couple of my friends and my girlfriend. And we were all using like spring-powered pistols. I was using my spring-powered Series 80. My girlfriend was using the Walther P99. This dude Tom, he was using a Smith & Wesson. I forgot what model. It wasn't a revolver, it was a handgun. Looks very similar to the Browning design. And I believe my dude Albert was using one of those too. Oh, and his girlfriend, she was using an electric powered semi-automatic Desert Eagle, which used to be mine. Pretty freaking awesome game. I was all decked out in my camo. No one else really had all that stuff. I was like the only one. And I had this helmet on. And I was smoking a cigar, pacing back and forth like a freaking sergeant or a captain or something. And I was telling them the rules of the game and all that. It was freaking sweet. I made a homemade grenade launcher that Easter. Well, before that Easter. Yeah, I gotta show it sometime in a video. I really do. A lot of funny stories, but I'm not gonna say them because I don't want to embarrass anybody with that freaking thing. Yeah. So, oh, I also wear this helmet too, sometimes when I, like, play certain video games or whatever. It just makes me feel very like I'm there. No, not Call of Duty. Call of Duty's okay, but it's not, I don't know, just not my cup of tea. World at War is pretty cool, and I have Modern Warfare 2, that one's pretty okay. But Black Ops, the one that takes place in Vietnam, that one's pretty freaking sweet. Anyways, so I figured I'll bring out my authentic World War II helmet that may have seen action with my trustworthy Airsoft 1918A1. It's a hybrid. For those of you who don't know, it's a hybrid between the World War I and World War II era 1911s. And to top it off, how sweet are those World War I era real steel 1911 walnut, real wood grips fitted to this pistol. Freaking sweet, man. I'm gonna age this girl again. Yeah, I miss it already. She's already dulled down. I haven't even been polishing her. And she's still kind of glistening around, but whatever. Alright, so there's that. And yes, if you're wondering, the helmet is quite weighty. Yeah, definitely is. Oh, before I do that, look how freaking sweet this is. Look at this. Look how sweet this looks. I can have a Vietnam looking loadout right now. You know, this helmet looks very similar to the ones that were in Vietnam. Or should I say the ones in Vietnam are very similar to these ones. Because this happened first. 1911. M4A1, not that they had M4A1s, but it's very similar to an M16. So, it will look the part. So, gonna clear this girdle before I put it down. Alright, let's get on to the main attraction. Hopefully there won't be any interruptions. Oh my gosh, I can't stand it when I try to do a video and there's interruptions. So then I gotta redo it. I don't edit my stuff. I don't like to. I like to just get it done. Anyways, we're gonna be talking about, yeah, the M92F Samurai Edge. Round count, hop up, wear and tear, and whatever else I feel like freaking talking about, because I can. And Gangsta Rap made me do it. First of all, safety check. This magazine's funny. This is the original magazine, and it leaks, and then it stops leaking. It leaks, and then it stops leaking. Leaks, then stops leaking. Before it just wasn't leaking. Now it's like leaking a little bit again. It's just a small leak. But it's annoying. Not a big deal. It'll eventually get over itself. It like started leaking literally as soon as I took it out of the gun. But anyways. Immediately, you should see something different from the gun. I see two things different. Do you? Well, the obvious one, which means she's a keeper. No turning back now. She is a keeper. The other thing, that should look familiar to you real Resident Evil fans. That guide rod is bare metal now. Polished, well, semi-polished. Doesn't really need to be super polished. I mean, you gotta think how quickly it would be unpolished when it cycles through. It was black before, in case you forgot. And I remember looking at it thinking to myself, something seemed a little odd. So then when I removed this and I thought maybe, well, because it really does make a big difference that, you know, really does take away from the look. So I took that away and I was like, it looks better, but there's still something off. So I turned on the game today. I have the GameCube version and the original, but the GameCube version obviously has better graphics and I'll be able to actually see what's going on. This thing is like an exact replica, pretty much. Except this was black, and now it looks just the way it should from the game. The one that Jill uses anyway. Chris uses one that looks just like this too, in the same game. I believe Jill leaves it for him, or something like that. I don't know. This magazine's annoying as shit out of me because I can hear it. It's not very loud or bad leak, but it is consistent. Like I said before, it leaks and stops, leaks and stops, whatever. It's just drives me nuts. Anyways, so safety checked. Talked about 2 new things. Round count. I literally just got done putting. Well, we have a total of 277 rounds put through this gun, and those are the E-Vike BBs I just recently purchased. 277 rounds, still running strong. I used the original magazine and this blank HFC magazine for my Special Forces. I've been using these 2 magazines mostly lately. The original magazine that came with the gun for obvious reasons. This one, so it can wear more. This one's the newer of the 3 HFC magazines. And you can tell these magazines are worn so bad. In a good way, of course. They have a bunch of lubricant on them, so that they don't leak. I'm trying to prevent them from leaking. That's really fucking driving me nuts. So yeah. 277 rounds. Were there any failures? No. Nothing went wrong so far. Thank freaking goodness. Thank the 9 Divines. Thank Talos. Wear and tear. Let's check it out. That takedown lever, for one, that's getting pretty worn. I think, this is what I do. When I get a new airsoft gun, after about every 50 rounds, I field strip the gun. Not completely, but like so. Just a simple field strip. And I take a look at what's wearing and what's not. Just take a good look at it. See what's going on in here. Just check up on it. You know what I mean? It's something simple like that. If you want, you can do a 1-up and as soon as you get the gun, take it apart and take a picture of the parts and the inside like this. I'm not saying take the gun completely apart. I'm saying like you can completely field strip it and take a look. I mean, that way you'll remember how certain parts go back. You know, springs. Sometimes the springs, they go in certain ways. You know, whatever. I think it's a good idea. So that way you can go back and reference how the gun looked brand new and what wore over that time. Maybe take a picture for every 300 rounds or every 100 rounds, whatever. But there you have that. That's why that takedown lever is so worn. Alright. There's little dings here and there, just simply from just handling the gun, putting it down, picking it up. Wear on the trigger for obvious reasons. These emblems are wearing a little bit. There's some silver starting to peek through, which is unfortunate, but hey, it's just makes the gun a little more personal. It's wearing from being used, not just for no reason at all, so. Oh, and before I forget, after about 200 rounds, his rear sights started getting loose. That's a fake Allen screw on top. That's fake. Don't try tightening it. Learn from my mistakes. I tried to go tighten it, and I was like, wait, this won't budge. And I'm going to go loosen it, and it wouldn't budge. And it was just like, the hell? And if you move the loose sight, the screw moves with it. It's obviously a fake screw. It probably gets adjusted from inside the blowback housing. Check out the wear there. Nothing severe. That hammer is wearing quite a bit on top, just from riding up on that blowback housing. Now what may concern you, this piece here that's moving, that's getting pretty worn. I'm pretty sure, because I had way more rounds put through my Special Forces M9. Yeah, here we go again! We're bringing that up again, yeah. Yeah, that thing had way more rounds than this gun could ever have. And that piece was so worn, it there was barely any paint on the obvious parts of it, where it actually had contact. It was 100% silvered out there, just bald. It wasn't flat or anything like that, it was just very worn. And the gun never went into full auto unless the gun was selected on full auto. That gun was select fire, semi, and full auto, is what I'm saying. And if I had the gun selected to semi-auto, it never just went into full auto for no reason. That gun, I had her for about 3 years, and I used to shoot it all the time. I used to shoot it as much as I shoot doors. So, and it never just, it eventually fouled up on me. It didn't go into full auto like I was just saying. But, long story short, I don't think that this wearing is going to be a problem. I really don't think so. And if it ever does, I can just buy a new part. Hopefully they have it on ebike.com. That's where I got the gun. Alright, so there's that. A lot of wear on that blowback housing unit from the hammer rubbing. That screw is locked, tighted, locked, threaded, or whatever. The blue kind, you don't want to put the red on there, otherwise you won't be able to get it off without a special tool. I did the same thing for the screw on the back of the guide rod. That screw just simply, I'll get into it another time. This isn't a review, it's just an update. I'm so destined to do a freaking review on this thing. Not a whole lot of wear going on. If you look over here though in these corners, you can see they're worn up pretty nicely. That has major contact from these corners, smacking in every time the gun shoots and racks. So the whole gun, that's the most wear that's going on. That contact between the slide and the contact on the barrel. And it's not even all that bad. This chrome lined barrel. You can see there's a line. Hopefully you can see a line on there. It's just such a mirror finish. There you go. That's wear. There's not much going on this side. The other side though is wearing a lot more. And there's a line too on this side. There it is. Alright, so that's all the wear. The magazine's barely even wearing. Leaking out later, thank goodness. Because you see there's barely any muck play. I like the way worn magazines look anyways. Alright, so that's all the wear. Now we're going to look at the hop-up. The hop-up is where I thought it was. Unfortunately, WE forgot to talk about the hop-up in the manual. The hop-up is that little screw. The thing about this screw is it's very, very small. Even my smallest excuse me, screwdriver has a hard time connecting with it. It's a flathead. Even that has a hard time fitting in that little screw. The screw is very short, very hard to handle. You take it all the way out, it's like, ugh. It's like a friggin' cookie crumb. It's so small. And it gets, that screw, when you adjust your hop, it gets loose pretty easily. Just from firing, it will kind of like reset in a way. Not too bad, but it does. If you want to prevent that, put barely any Loctite on that little grub screw. Make sure there isn't any on the end of it to where it could touch the hop wherever, you know, just in case you don't want the chemical or whatever to damage anything. And then you put the screw back in till it starts getting tight, and then you adjust the hop as you normally would. Go about your business, find out where you like where the hop is, and then just shoot the gun 10 more times or so. Just don't do it too much, but 10 at most, just to be careful, so you don't accidentally reset your hop, because it may still reset because the thread lock or Loctite or whatever is still wet. It's not in full effect yet. So just shoot it like 10 more times after you adjust it to the way you like it, just to be sure, and then leave the gun alone for like a good hour. Not too long. You just want to really make sure that Loctite dries. And it works. I have the hop up adjusted now to the point where I can hit a pretty small target from 25 feet. That's pretty good, considering it's an airsoft pistol. And the target is like literally this wide. So there's that. By the time I'm done with all like these little this series of putting it through its paces, I'm not even going to need to put a review up. But I will anyways. Freaking pencil. So there's that. So that's pretty much all I really need to say about the Samurai Edge M92F so far. It's doing very good. Everything looks very good, very promising. I see a nice bright future between it and myself. So what else is new other than this? Wednesday, I shipped out the MP9 back to e-bike. So in about a week, I should figure out what's going on from there. Hopefully I get an exchange or store credit, and then I could purchase a gun pretty much at the same value. To replace it, obviously something utilitarian, I already mentioned that, but I'm just letting just bringing it up so you guys know what's going on with that. For those of you who even give a shit about that. What have I picked? Well, I'm not gonna pick a polymer gun after the whole MP9 thing. I just want to wait, leave polymer guns alone. Just think of it like, if you ever go on like a skateboard and you fall off of it, you bust your ass, you're gonna be like, no, I don't want a skateboard anymore. Don't even give me a freaking scooter. Get that shit away from me. It's kind of like that kind of thing. It's like, I just don't want anything to do with that right now. The utilitarian gun is gonna have a rail, of course. It needs one, and I want to be able to put like a flashlight or whatever. I'm thinking about getting like a flashlight laser combo and all that stuff. Just cause, so it's there. Definitely need the light, because my one I have now is just really, really old and it's like freaking falling apart. What else? Also that night, Wednesday night, well, technically Thursday morning, like 12 a.m., I ordered parts. It's not a big deal, but it's a little exciting for me because I can finally get one of my guns up and running again. So it won't just be sitting there anymore. Alright, so there you have it. That's what's going on with this. And I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing. Very good to see you, ladies and gentlemen, again. Very good to see some traffic on my channel once again. I'm seeing some new usernames on there, which I like to see. That's great. Thank you all very much. I'll catch you guys around. Have a great friggin' day. Who knows? Maybe I'll have more video later, because I'm just that unpredictable. Just take one more gander at the M92F Samurai Edge before I sign out. Just takes you back to when Jill and Barry kicked down that dining room door, and you see her pointing it. I have a beret, a military beret. It's a Iraq generation, I believe. They also have it now. Like a lot of the U.S. military, they wear them now, and it is a real one. It's not some cheap knockoff. Gonna look at the sights, and let's get a look at. I need a new magazine. Catch you guys later.